Hello YouTubers and welcome to Whiskey City Overland. We're three friends that were born and raised in the small town of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, otherwise known as Whiskey City. Join me and the crew as we hit the back roads out to the wild unknown. We're leaving the city behind and headed for the freedom that comes with the open trail. We'll have epic builds, campfires, gear reviews, and lots of tire spinning mud, so hit subscribe and follow along where there are no wrong turns. Welcome to Whiskey City Overland. Hello internets and welcome back to Whiskey City Overland, and today we're just going to do a quick little introduction of our trucks. We're not going to really dive into the camping setup, we're just going to kind of tell you what we're overlanding with. None of us have super high-end rigs. All of our trucks, well, the two Nissans were purchased used, and Blake did buy his Tacoma new. But we don't have $100,000 rigs here to go overlanding, and you don't need that. You can go out and have a lot of fun with some basic trucks. So let's get into what Whiskey City Overland does overlanding with. All right, so this is my rig. This is a 2015 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. I had a 2005 before. If you've watched my other channel, Kentucky Petrolhead, you will know that it got totaled. The whole front end was smashed after I'd done a bunch of work to it. And I searched and searched and searched, tried to find something that I wanted. And I wanted a Titan swap. So basically you take the front end out of that, you put it in this, and you get wider stance, more travel. If you do the diff, you get a tougher diff and tougher axles. And I couldn't find one on the normal websites that you look for cars, but I was part of a Nissan Frontier group on Facebook, and I put in there, does anyone have a Pro 4X with full skid plates, sliders, and a Titan swap? And lo and behold, a guy out of Texas named John out of San Antonio said, I got one that I'll sell. So Jason and I flew from Cincinnati to San Antonio, Texas, picked this baby up, and then we drove it back in 2 days with a bad wheel bearing, which was nerve-wracking, but I love this truck. I just had the front shocks rebuilt, new springs, and they had rad flows on them, so I sent them out to California to have them rebuilt. And this trip that we just went on, they were amazing off-road. Even if you get it airborne, they're super cush. But it's got Schrock bumpers, I think. I forget who makes the skid plates, but it's fully skidded all the way down. It's got Deaver springs in the rear, although mine are getting a little flat, just not as bad as Blake's. Bilstein 5100s on the rear, and then the rear bumper has a tire mount on it, and then I just have a homemade set of crossbars that I can basically mount anything to, and a Lear mid-rise cap, Facebook fine, 500 bucks, and it's been great. Mounted my own lights in it, and eventually I'm going to build a brace in there to mount a rooftop tent because the Lears won't really hold that much weight. I like my big tent that I usually camp with when I'm in it, but I hate packing it up. So we're going to put a rooftop tent on it. It's got a super winch in there. I don't know that I've ever had to use it, but it does work. I did test it. And then I've put a Midland 575 GMRS radio. It's got a CB radio. It's got a safe in it. It's got wolf box, front and rear camera. It does have a light bar that doesn't work, but that's pretty much the build on mine, and this thing is pretty stout. I love this rig. It will just go anywhere.
This is my rig. I got this thing in 2020. It's a 2020 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. It's a standard, so that it's cool, but it sucks too. Just recently, I was running it on stock wheels, stock tires, just got new ones. Just got these are the Rough Country Steelies, really, that's it. These are the Calvary MTs. I got these from tire discounters. Actually, I ordered them and then got them mounted on tire discounters because it was cheaper to do it that way. So if you can do it that way and you're on a budget like me, That's a better way to do it. These are great. They are directional, so this being my daily driver, that's not necessarily ideal, but working on getting that changed. But I've gone through, this is my third rooftop tent. We'll kind of go over that later. Dad got me these for a present. I've got, do you remember the brand? I don't remember the brand. They're lights, they make things bright. I've got the main light bar, some ditch lights. I've got side lights, and since I switched rooftop tents, I don't have the rear lights anymore. Other than that thing, this thing's bone stock. I've hauled too much heavy things with it now, so my rear leaf springs are U'd in the opposite direction, so that's really fun. I've got a bumper delete in the back.
All right. Again, my name is Jason, and this is my 2008 Nissan Titan. Bought it a couple years ago, spent $8,500 buying it. It already had a small little 3-inch rough country lift on it. I ended up throwing a 4-inch rough country lift under it. That was before you know what you know. And if I had to do it again, I would not put a rough country lift on it. It looks good, doesn't really function well for off-roading. But we still just plow through things. The rest of it, roof rack, the rooftop tent, and just knickknacks here and there that picked up on Amazon just to make a little off-roading rig. But that's about it.
So you can see we're riding pretty basic rigs for the most part. The Frontier's probably the most built out, but the Titan went everywhere I did with a little bit of help from time to time. But yeah, I mean, you don't need a huge expensive rig to get out there and have fun. You can buy a $5,000 old Jeep Cherokee and probably go more places than we do and have a lot of fun while you're doing it. And even if you're not going on trails this wild, I mean, something with all-wheel drive and some gravel or dirt roads, and you can get out there and go camping and have some fun. They do some pretty wild stuff with Subarus out in the Northwest, but that's not really my flavor. We like hitting the harder trails. But definitely check it out. See what you can find and just get out there on the trails. That's the most important thing. Just get out there and whatever you got, you know, unless you've got a Honda Civic, probably not going to work on a trail. But yeah, I mean, it's about the adventure and the fun. It's not about having this extremely capable rig, and most of those people that have those rigs, they don't put them to the limit most of the time. Well, thanks for joining us for another episode of Whiskey City Overland. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to support the channel by subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. Leave us a comment. That really helps us out. Also check out our merch store, and we've got some things available now that you can purchase, which really help us out. Keep an eye out for the next episode on our camping setup, which will be coming up in the not too distant future. We'll see you next time on Whiskey City Overland.